NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to NHL Nightly, brought to you by Fans for Sports Network. With me always is Pearlo Wisdom from P-Pow Picks, one of the best prognosticators out there. Our goal shot prop guru, Rico. How's it going, guys?
Not too bad. Looks like we got a tight game in Florida.
We're going to have an overtime here, you think? Or
I mean, Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky have been playing amazing. Did you see the save that Bobrovsky made earlier when he went and turned around and then he saved it Dominic Hasek-like?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I tweeted about it. That was such a great save. Unbelievable. And you know, Florida had a 2-0 lead in this game too, so craziness ensues. Winnipeg's up 1-0 early. Any thoughts on that game? Or
Anunen's not the backup again. I think they called off Prosvetov again, so I mean it's Gorgiev's game, so they better just hold Winnipeg here. But I mean, Colorado went into this game as a pretty hefty -125 favorite, so a lot of money came in on Colorado before the puck drop.
yeah, what do you guys got? What are your bets tonight? Just let the chat know what are you looking for and what do you got going on. And
yeah, I hit some good ones earlier. I hit the first period over, both teams to score in the Rangers Caps game, and then I got the first period over in the Tampa Bay game as well too. In the late games, I just ended up taking Nashville with the news of Demko being out. I also took him as +1.5 as well too. And then this Jets Colorado game, I didn't take a side. I just took some props because I just saw a lot of money coming in on Colorado, and I just couldn't bet on them with Gorgiev. So then I just thought that Colorado would just come out firing against the Jets. So I just took player props, hoping that you'd see a lot of scoring like the last game. But the earlier games have hit pretty good for me.
good. That's awesome, man. Glad you're hitting. Pearlo, what do you got? What do you got tonight? We're getting some white noise from you in the background, man. So I'm
still getting the noise in the background.
Yeah, white noise, static, or whatever. So just mute yourself when you're not.
Anyways, I got the over in this game. I had the over in the Florida Tampa Bay game. I had Florida money line, and I usually don't play that juicy, but I still think they'll pull it out. And I got the draw in the Vancouver Nashville game, and the over in that game. So that's what I got.
Rock on. Yeah, the big news today coming out of the NHL was Thatcher Demko out for the rest of the series, it looks like, which is really unfortunate. He's only played one game. I definitely thought he was the difference in that game one, but it's going to be interesting. I feel like, though, that's a tough loss for I think Casey DeSmith is more than capable, but how you guys feel?
I mean, a lot of pressure on DeSmith, man, especially with no. I mean, who else? Who's their backup after DeSmith if for some reason he gets lit up? I mean, who else has Vancouver got there? I mean, it'd be pretty interesting how they play. I mean, if there is ever a spot for Vancouver to just tighten up in front of their goalie, it could be tonight. But I don't know. My money's on Nashville to just win this game and just smell a little bit of a victory and not having to deal with Demko.
Pearlo? Do you need me to unmute you?
Yeah, I took a little bit on Nashville to win the game. I got the over once DeSmith was in. And I got the draw in this game. So I got several picks in this game, which will bail me out because I have Florida and Tampa.
Breaking news. Sam Bennett's not going to be back for the Panthers, per Elliot Friedman. Sorry, Pearlo, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's cool. That sucks for Bennett.
Yeah, I saw him. He got hit in the hand by a puck. So it looked bad. I think he might have broke his hand. That's tough. That's a huge loss for Florida.
Oh, huge loss. One of their best power forwards and the guy that's built for this time of year. If he's not coming back, that's not good news, especially when it comes to a hand. Usually you can kind of just shake it off a little bit. It's like getting a slap shot to the foot. You get a bit of a stinger at first, and then the pain kind of wears a little bit, and you could kind of get back on the ice after a couple more shifts. But that is a horrendous loss for Florida.
Yeah, we should be seeing puck drop for Vancouver. I don't know what's going on. Why is that a?
I think it's the ESPN game, Beard. I think that they're waiting for this game to be done so they can.
Why aren't they putting it on ESPN News or something?
Oh, that's my guess anyway, because I thought I heard them say that earlier, but that
no,
seems like
it is correct. You're correct, but like it's not good. Okay, anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Florida's out shooting Tampa 34-22. Good thing I'll have a little bit on the draw here. But, man, I think this is going to be a long game. So going to overtime, probably 3 or 4 overtimes, I would imagine.
What, this Florida-Tampa game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a long game.
Winnipeg on the power play. I love the whiteout. It doesn't look like a single solitary fan from another team in there. Pretty awesome. Hats off to you, Winnipeg, because you were second to dead last in attendance this year. Did you guys see the attendance numbers that came out? The only people that Winnipeg was ahead of was the Arizona Coyotes. Now the Utah Hockey Club. How are your Blue Jays doing, Rico? Because I really don't want to talk about anything else.
No, I don't blame you, man.
The Winnipeg thing is basically after they're a blue collar town, and after COVID and everything, like not too many people have money in Winnipeg. Once they start getting back on the feet again, it'll be full of them. But yeah, it's rough there. My parents are from Manitoba. My parents are from Manitoba, so
yeah, aren't they? Don't they still live there?
Yeah, my parents live in Manitoba.
How old are your folks now? They got to be getting up there.
70, 76, 77.
Oh, they're not.
It was my mom's birthday yesterday.
Oh, man. Happy birthday to Mama Pearlo. I guess Mama Duncan, we can say, but instead of Mama Pearlo. But dude, hey, man, no, seriously, give your mom best wishes from us at the podcast. Tell her thank you for making you, because I wouldn't have gotten to know you, and it's pretty awesome. So, and I appreciate you guys taking your time and your gambling stuff to be on here with this jackwagon from Alaska.
But Winnipeg people, they're very blue collar. They're making like blue collar money. So even if they come close to filling that building, it's doing pretty well after COVID and everything that's going on. They'll be fine.
My wife's family is from that area too.
Yeah.
Russell.
So you know then.
Yeah, they were farmers. Yeah, legit.
Yeah, and not much corporate money going on in Winnipeg.
And her uncle Dale, shout out Dale Maxwell, retired Canadian Special Forces. Also, the whole time he was Canadian Special Forces, had a landscaping business. I was like, what, Canadian Special Forces wasn't enough for you?
That's cool.
You're like a massive person there. So, hey, St. Martin,
But
I saw your
I
comment.
gotta say, I quite often disagree with you sometimes, I guess, about officiating, but that headshot thing is stupid. That is absolutely no doubt about it. Review that shit and you get 2 games. I don't know how you missed that. That's diabolically bad. I don't know how you missed that.
I'm just saying, if that was Tom Wilson and he hit Panarin, they'd be calling for his head.
Well, yeah,
It's an absolute fucking joke the way this league is officiated now. They don't protect players. They call the shittiest fucking calls. They called TJ Oshie for holding. He reached around with his stick and tapped the thing. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. They missed a boarding on Lafreniere in game 1. Then they don't call this. It's not even a penalty. It's not a penalty. You got to explain this one to me. Everybody on Twitter, Biz, everybody that shits on the Caps all the time was like, how's that not a penalty? Not only was it not a penalty, which I said immediately, you can go back and watch the Hot Take Hockey live stream because I was in there with him. I don't know if you were in there, Rico. I said, it won't be a penalty. Watch. I know as a Caps fan, I'm just used to getting fucked over. So I knew it wasn't going to be. Was it
Wes McCauley ref in that game?
Yeah, it was Wes McCauley, which I say I normally like him. He was awful. The calls, look, let the ticky-tack shit go and let the life-altering shit be called. That was a 5-minute major all fucking day long. Oh, the principal point of contact wasn't his head. He was hit in the head. This is just like, I just don't understand it. And I didn't want to get down this road. I'm over it. St. Martin, I saw your comments in the chat a few weeks ago. You're the only one that hears static, my man. Everybody else, I have my wife listen to the stream. I go back and watch it. There's no static from my microphone. It's your own setup, my man. So just to let you know, I responded, but I respond late to that stuff because, quite frankly, we don't get a lot of comments on our show. So, I'm trying. I'm grinding. I'm working hard. I can't get Hot Take Hockey to raid our show. We're not big enough. He's going to do TSN raid tonight, though. That's good. Those guys need it. TSN, they don't get enough views. So help them out. Jesse Pollock and such. They're not making any money doing this. So
Bucks for 3.
I'm
sweating that freaking Bucks.
Yeah. So the scores tonight. Yeah, it's not coming across in the feed, my man. It's your own stuff. You either have your volume too high. I go back and watch it all the time. I understand I have a big personality. I'm 47 fucking years old. I've lived with myself for a long time. I fucking get it. I go back and listen and read and listen to the pod and listen to the show, and it's not coming across loud or staticky or distorted. So yeah. Turn your fucking volume up. You have this thing called volume. It was invented in 1936, and you can use it. So use it. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, Lightning Panthers still 2-2. Your goal scorers, Sam Bennett, unfortunately, Tarasenko, Point, and Stamkos. Avalanche are down by David Gustafson. I didn't even know he was on that team. I feel bad. And then the Preds Canucks puck has dropped. It says it's on ESPN2, but they're not showing it. So I don't.
I got the Preds game on now. I can't get the Colorado Avalanche game. It's fucking.
So I have abs and see what's happening. You have this should not be a factor for you. You should have no problem because you have the.
Do you know what? Last night. They didn't start playing they didn't play the Vegas game until the Jays were done. Then they played the Vegas game. I could not get anything until the Jays were done.
So the Avs Winnipeg game's on CBC if you want to watch it, Pearlo.
And here's the thing: I pay $200 a year for center ice package, and you don't even give me the game while the Jays are on some channel other than that. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up. You got to be kidding me. I'm paying you $200 a year for extra on top of my cable service or satellite service. And you don't give me the Vegas game. Like, okay, you don't give it to everybody else. That's one thing, but you give it to me. I'm paying you extra for it.
I don't understand. If you have the center ice package, shouldn't you have gotten all those games?
Yeah, exactly. Now that the playoffs are on, there's nothing on my center ice package. Nothing.
So I am not able to get the Vancouver game at all, even though there's no alternate feed. I can't watch an alternate feed right now, so I'm not seeing Vancouver. By the way, Anthony Beauvillier. Yeah, Anthony Beauvillier. Thank you, Pearlo, keeping us up to date. So
I got the over and Nashville in this game, and I need it big time after all the bullshit today. Yeah.
okay. All right, Donkey Puncher, see you the fuck later.
Why? What's that?
Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just a mod. Just modding. I'm not testy. I'm just responding to St. Martin's comments from a few days ago. I feel bad because I haven't been able to address it.
I just don't want to see myself on this show if whatever happened to the Caps happens to the Leafs tomorrow night. Then I got to do the show at 10 o'clock. I don't even know if I could speak. I would probably have my head or fist through a wall. So you're doing well.
Rico, I feel you, man, but at this point, it's just not enjoyable anymore. They've stripped the joy from watching the games because the officials need to be a part of the story. Kelly Sutherland was so god-awful in game one. And look, the penalty on Rempe in the first period was garbage. Shouldn't have been a penalty. They should not have called it. Rangers fans were crying. You know what they should have called? The elbowing penalty from Rempe when they scored a goal and the check from behind, which was boarding. It's just...
Okay, let me say something. The officiating before this season, the officiating was pretty darn good. Now, all of a sudden, you're paying betting sites. I'm telling you, man, I've had the worst season of my life this year.
I'm telling you, Pearlo, I think they're watching the lines.
I swear to God, I was fighting you all the way along here. I've had the worst season in 7 years. I've never been close to red for 7 years. Not even close. And the bullshit I'm seeing now, I'm starting to realize that you have a sponsored betting sites now in the league. I swear to I'm not a conspiracy dude, and I fought it for a long time, but I'm not fighting it anymore. You are seeing bullshit like I have never seen in my life in these games. And I fought it because I do not like conspiracies, but there is something seriously going on here. Now, as a capper, I have to take that into consideration. So you got to start taking you got to start taking way more dogs now. You got to look for spots, and you got to realize, and you got to get under the fact that they are going to that this is being coerced. There's no doubt about it. This Washington game. You know how many people were on Washington tonight? This was a Washington spot all day.
Plus 225.
All day long.
Plus 225.
And then all of a sudden they're not calling shit on Washington in this spot? Seriously? If you're a capper, you're taking Washington.
How about the cross check? 30 seconds left to go with the goal pulled. blatantly not called. Look, I hate complaining about the officiating. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about these players stepping up and making great plays.
Same as the Toronto game last night. It's ridiculous. Now you got to start taking into account that there is no doubt about that there's coercion in this league. There's no doubt about it. Next year, I'm taking dogs, and I'm only playing dogs. I'm only playing dogs next year. I'm looking for the spots where the big money's going to go on the favorite, and I'm taking the dog every single time. That's what I'm doing, because that is what they are doing, no doubt about it. I don't know why. Like the Lightning, this is a Lightning spot all day. I haven't watched it. Have the Lightning been getting the better of the calls here?
I just thought I think it's been a pretty good game. I mean, dude, compared to that Caps game, it was a massacre. I mean, look, I understand the Caps had 4 power plays in the first game, but the Rangers are committing penalties that should have been called. Tonight, I haven't been able to follow this game as closely, but I was hoping they would put up both feeds so we could watch both games. Why in the hell would I not want to watch the other game? ESPN, what are you doing? Yeah,
I mean, Washington, the Caps were so thin on D tonight too. Like even the guy that got hurt, what's his name in the last game? I think they called somebody up for this game too. Like
Iorio is an AHL player. He's played in the AHL. The kid who got his collarbone broke did Iorio that was checked from behind by Lafreniere, which I can't wait for. You know what? It doesn't matter because the Canes are going to murder the Rangers in the second round, and I'm going to laugh. Now I don't care. Now I want the Rangers to lose.
I'm not even sure about that anymore.
Well, by the way, you didn't see? The Canes are betting favorites for the Stanley Cup here in US. Plus,
so for sure.
Because they were the first team to go up 2-0, that's why.
For sure the Rangers are going to win. It doesn't matter. If the Rangers are a dog in that series, they are winning. They are winning. No doubt about it.
I think it's going to be a rough one when it goes back to Washington. I think the Caps are going to be so goddamn pissed off that Wilson's going to run somebody right through the boards, and it's going to be low scoring. You're not going to see these high scoring games like you just saw in New York. You're going to see 2-1, 3-2 at the very most games when it goes back to Washington. Washington's going to play their defensive style. They're going to basically limit the ice surface. They're not going to give the Rangers as much room as they had at home.
I think they want New York in the finals.
I'll say this. New York in the finals. Lucas Johansson played admirably in Phil for Iorio. I can't complain. I don't think. Look, I'm not saying the Caps played great, but it doesn't help when you have to overcome not drawing calls that are blatant. Oh, Andrew, which one is fake you? Which one's fake you? Does he have a different photo?
I'm sorry, but the Capitals were sharp money tonight. Huge.
Yeah, the same picture.
There was huge money on the Capitals tonight. Huge. And there should have been. So I don't know what the sharp money is going to be on the Rangers, but basically go against sharp money in the playoffs now. Because after what I saw today and what I've seen so far in the now, sharp money is going to lose. Sharp money is going to lose. No doubt about it. Because sharp money's got big money on it. Public money is like, wow, nobody cares. It's like not that much. Sharp money's throwing like freaking $500,000, $600,000 a freaking bet on there. They're way higher. Sharp money is not going to win in this playoffs. Finally, it took me a whole season to figure it out. Sharp money ain't winning. And now I'm calling it a conspiracy now after what I saw today.
So Rick's telling us in the chat that, and I'm sorry I missed this earlier, Rick. He said in Canada, for our Canadian listeners, which I think is most of you, they dumped Florida, Tampa after 2 periods. Game here went right to Vancouver, all channels on Sportsnet. Okay, that makes sense, though, because it's a Canadian. They're going to put a priority to the Canadian team, Rick. It's just weird that I can't find the Nashville game. If you live in Nashville, you can watch if you have the Valley Sports Nashville or whatever. It's a different picture. I'm not seeing it in my chat, Andrew. Was it the poor Demko comment? If I find the person, I'll ban them. I'm working it, man.
You got the Avs, Rico?
I have the Avs. In Winnipeg. You don't have the Avs in Winnipeg?
Oh, the game, yeah. But I didn't bet on the Avs.
No. Oh, I thought you was asking if you had the game on. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're talking about the bet. Sorry, Pearlo. I jumped in there and shouldn't have.
I mean, you've never heard me say anything like this before. I usually back to officiating and all that stuff like that. It's taken me a whole year to figure it out, but there's something funny going on, man. Has nothing to do with they don't like Washington or they don't like anything. I've been betting and I've loved my bets all year long, and I've seen it way too many times. Way too many times. Sharp money is losing like crazy this year. And what I mean by sharp money are people that know what they're talking about. People that know what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean by shark money. But that's good.
But a lot of people, I'm talking about the people listening right now. People that know what they talk about are losing this year a lot. A lot. And a lot of it has to do with stupid calls, poor officiating, like you said. And I've been fighting you on that, but I'm not fighting it anymore. I've now figured it out. I don't think anybody's against Washington or Edmonton or any one particular team. But I do know that over this whole process this year, it's amazing how much sharp money has been losing because of poor officiating all year long. It's amazing. And it just so happens that this is the first year they're sponsored by betting sites. Just a coincidence. It's a coincidence, apparently.
Hey, real quick PSA. If there's any links in the chat that say annual membership, that shit is fake. Don't click it. You know, what can I do? Jared says he has the Cavs game on.
Okay, who we picking for the OT winners? Throw it up in the chat. Who you think's going to score the OT winner in this Tampa Florida game? I'll go first. I'll say Brandon Hagel.
I'll go second. I'll say Verhage.
I'm going Matthew Tkachuk. How do you spell challenge? Why can't I spell challenge all of a sudden? Here's the deal, guys. Okay, I did spell it right. Here's the deal. I will give whoever in the chat guesses the winner. So Rico said Hagel. Jared said Hagel. You will.
Why did you take the exact same thing?
Rick Smith says Tampa declare, but I know what you mean, Rick. Declare. I will send a Jonathan Taves XL Adidas jersey to one of you, so Rico will win that.
No. Don't send it to me.
And
Give it to Jared.
Hold on. No. And Jared will get a Jonathan Taves Fanatics jersey that's close. No, it is 5 versus 5, St. Martin, in overtime in the playoffs. Correct. Yes, I forgot you were Australian, my man. That's so awesome. Thank you for joining us. Andrew, you picked Duclair as well. So you riding Rick Smith. There's nobody else on Tampa you like.
You know what's hilarious? I loved Yzerman growing up. I was always number 19. Then when Yzerman retired, I was like, oh man, I need another 19 to cheer for. So my new favorite player became Jonathan Toews because he was number 19, and I just loved him throughout his career.
Well, you're getting a if Brandon Hagel scores, you and Jared Bukal. Jared, just DM me on Twitter and I'll give you your address and I'll send the jersey to you at no cost to you. Rico, I already have your address. So. Just I'm not one of those shows where my co-host can't win stuff. Perlo, everything good, man?
Yeah, all good. I had to make sure I almost forgot to shut off the stove.
Beard was in the
my
military. He
camera.
knows where you all live, so you better not mess around.
What the heck's going on with my camera this way?
I don't want that to be.
Let me go over and come back.
All right. ESPN Plus has the Predators. Content not available. What are you talking about? Okay. Are you kidding me? Well, I'll watch the Spanish feed.
This is a huge overtime here, man. If Florida wins 2-0 series, if Tampa can just get out of this game, it's 1-1 going back to Tampa. So you love the playoffs, man. This is a momentum swinging series overtime here.
You guys want a little play-by-play? Since we're kind of just sitting here, I'll do my best. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, that's working. That's so weird. I do not know what's going on there. Okay, yeah. Reinhardt almost ended it there. You guys getting that? St. Martin, you got a winner? You got a winner in the chat? Drop in the chat who you got. Yep, thank you, Andrew. I had the overtime challenge. Again, overtime challenge for the listeners.
Beard, if St. Martin drops one in the chat, you're going to have to send a jersey to Australia.
It won't be that bad. Sending stuff to Canada is expensive, bro. Like it'll cost me $40 to mail you a jersey. Oh, we have a game winner. Florida has scored in overtime.
No.
Oh, damn. Florida has scored in overtime.
Oh,
you don't know names? Well, you lost, St. Martin, because Florida won. The Rats are on the ice here. I'm going to get a little update.
Oh, man.
Was it Kachuk? Was it? I'll never get rid of these Taves jerseys. If it was Kachuk.
Wow.
Huge win. Oh, Carter Verhaeghe, I think. Nobody had Verhaeghe in the chat, so.
Pearlo did, but he didn't write it in the chat.
Did he have it, though? Did he say it out loud?
Yeah, he said Verhaeghe.
Did he?
Yeah.
I could send him a jersey. Oh, what a play. Wow. Oh, my God. Kachuk jumped over Vasilevsky after the goal was scored. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So they had it on ESPN News. They finally say this. Gee, mini Christmas, man. I checked it.
Kachuk laying on top of Vasilevsky. Oh,
Yeah, but that was because Vasi dived forward. He actually kind of took Kachuk's legs out for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, Florida. What's going on?
My camera stopped working for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
Pearl,
really
guess
bad.
we got the winner.
Verswaggy, as PK Subban calls him.
Stop my breath. I can't breathe.
Okay, I gotta let you go anyways.
Okay, okay. What is that noise? What was that?
I don't know. I heard "get off my back, I can't breathe" or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Pearlo got people imprisoned at his house or some shit. Oh my god,
You know dude, Beard, one of the bodies he disposes of in his daily job is still alive.
Oh my god, dude. What if this shit is real and you and I end up getting interviewed like we know something? Like, I'm just gonna be like, dude, I'm just a schmuck from Alaska. He wants to talk about hockey with my friends.
And then the investigators will be like, "No, you guys talk about him unloading dead bodies all the time. What do you mean? You're part of this."
Oh my god, dude. We're going to jail already. I know it. Oh man. By the way, this is psychotic. We are being hyperbolic. We do not believe Pearlo is a human trafficker, but it did sound like whatever was going on there did not sound good.
No.
Dude, that's weird. Pearlo's never ducked out like that. He didn't even get to give his picks tomorrow. Dude, you don't want picks from me.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow's games, we have 3. Boston at Toronto. What a huge win for the Leafs, Rico.
Oh,
There's no favorite in this game, but you got to love the Leafs here, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be a wreck, man. Like, I don't take my eyes off the screen for the whole game. There's no getting up, going to the bathroom, no nothing while the play is on. And I mean, it was just unbelievable. Matthews just felt like, man, as a lone superstar out there, just it leaves a hole with Nylander not in that lineup because Marner isn't the same type of player in the playoffs. Hopefully he is at home and he's got a little bit more space for himself on his home rink. But man, in Boston, it just felt like it was Domi and Bertuzzi and Matthews out there with the odd Tavares goal, which happened by spinning around in the slot, taking a slap shot. But apart from that, it just felt like it was just Matthews, Domi, and Bertuzzi playing that game and hoping Samsonov would keep making these big saves and nobody making mistakes. And it was just so stressful, man, because Boston's had the same heartache lately as the Leafs have. So it's like, man, their fan base is clamoring for a series win. The Toronto fan base is clamoring for a series win. It's like, it's nuts, man. I'm just soaking it all up, listening to radio, watching the TV, watching everybody's pod, listening to everybody's pods on it, just soaking in all the content I can for the Leafs playoff run here. So
can I ask you a question?
What?
Can I ask? Did you listen to Kipper today?
Yeah.
What did you think of his assessment on Marner?
I mean,
he really did not give him any criticism. For the listeners that aren't aware, me and Rico are religious listeners to Real Kipper and Born on the Fan 590. It's in Toronto. I know I live in Anchorage, Alaska. I listen to Canadian radio. I got this idea in 2016 when I heard enough about Deflategate. I was going crazy. It was all the sports talk would talk about. And I was like, I cannot deal with this. So I started finding internet radio in Canada and I started listening to TSN Overdrive with O-Dog, Hayes, and Noodles. and I like those guys. But when Kipper left Sportsnet, I became kind of friendly with him on the internet. I was a anyway, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I got sidetracked. So anyway, that's how I listen to Kipper's show. I'm a fan of Kipper. And I know Rico is a religious listener, so we a lot of times reference Kipper, okay? So for those of you that don't know, that's who it is. It's Nick Kyprios. He's a former NHLer. He played about 11 years. He was on the 94 Rangers Cup team. Name's on the cup. He's a great guy. He's Greek family, grew up in Toronto, played hockey, was a pretty good OHL player, was drafted by the Flyers. The Flyers tried to send him back down to the minors. He didn't pass waivers. The Capitals claimed him, and he played 4 or 5 years with the Washington Capitals with like Alan May and Craig Berube and the likes of that.
And won a cup in New York.
Yeah, then he was traded from the Capitals to the Hartford Whalers, and then the Whalers traded him to the Rangers, and then he won a Stanley Cup with the Rangers. And then he played, another year in Toronto? Toronto signed him, I think, in the late 90s. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's just jumping on that Marner play, and they said they've seen Nylander do it in last year's playoffs too. You're just trying to jump on the other side of the puck to try and get it, but everybody's just circulating that video of Marner not going in the corner against McAvoy there.
Yeah. Thank Jordan Smaltz for that one. I saw that he was all over that. But I'll say this, man. What Kipper said, and why I really didn't say it in specifics, was that Marner needs someone to drive the line for him. Well, if he's being paid $11 million a year, he should not need somebody to drive the line. And if I'm the Leafs, just play him at center then, and let him drive his own line.
That I remember him saying that.
Play Mitch Marner at center on the third line. And who's the third line center? Who's the third line center currently right now for the Leafs?
David Kampf or Jan Krok.
Yeah, put one of those guys on the wing. Kampf could play the wing. Or if you need the face-off one, put Kampf in for the face-off. And as soon as the face-off's won, just have them rotate. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. By the way, Colorado tied it up. Miles Wood. Looks like Miles Wood off the face-off. Yep, right off the face-off, Miles Wood. Actually, a real bad goal from Hellebuck. You want to save there. Not really screened, kind of a slow, 5-hole, awful goal. I gotta tell you, man. Oh, was it Holmberg
was
scored?
Third line center. No, sorry, that was Pontus Holmberg was a third line center last game. But if you put Marner in that spot with Yankrok and Nick Robertson, that might be a good little line. And then move Yankrok with Tavares and Nyes.
This is what Hot Take Hockey and I were talking about a while ago. And I just said I could take the OT challenge banner down. We felt like the Leafs were really coming out of position of strength to attack, which I felt was not as strong a Boston team as people were giving them credit for, by having like a Willie Nylander on the third line or a Mitch Marner. Yeah, I got you, Rick. Rick's saying he heard "Get Off My Back, I Can't Breathe." I listened to that 5 times, guys. Yeah, Rick, I don't know, man. That was really weird. And Pearlo just left. We got to figure out what's going on there. Maybe shoot a text to Pearlo and just make sure everything's all right. With him, I can too, I guess.
I'll message him.
Yeah, tell him that Rick Smith, straight up is going to call the authorities. Rick, I've got his address too, man. I've got his address because I sent him stuff. So, if you think you're going to call the authorities, I can sauce you the address. This is kind of sketch, man. What was that? Oh, Avs scored again? Did the Avs score again? Are you breaking news to me there, Subhuman, or are you just talking about the Miles Wood goal? Yeah, Subhuman. It was. You came early, but it happened just about 20 minutes ago or something. So I didn't know. I thought we were getting the internet hacky boys or something to come in, and somehow they were piping in sound, but it went away as soon as Pearlo left. So I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, you're good, Subhuman. No, you don't have to tell us your itinerary. We're not asking. We appreciate that you pop in and leave a like and subscribe and contribute to the chat like a real human being that's a hockey fan. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to do, Rico. I'm kind of weird.
I just messaged them.
Yeah. Yeah. So you like the Leafs here or the Bruins?
Gotta take the Leafs at home. Take the Leafs at home. Momentum. It's going to be interesting if Nylander plays, man. And, part of the reason nobody's hearing what's going on with him is because if they say it's a shoulder or that's a back or something, next thing you know, he's going to get a cross-check in the lower one or a hit in the upper one.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to say. Sheldon Keefe is doing everything he can to protect the injury to Nylander. And make no mistake, the Nylander, Bakar went down.
The Leafs are gonna win that series, but I think the Leafs got to win that series in 6. I don't want them going back to Boston for Game 7 because I don't like the refs, first of all, at the TD Garden in Game 7 when there's a coin flip and you put it in the hands of the refs for Boston or Toronto to move on. The NHL would love Boston to beat Toronto and move on in that series. Not saying it's manipulated by anything, but I'm saying the NHL gods would want Boston to win that series, I think. However, Austin Matthews is a marketable player right now.
Huh? That was a double minor for Kyle Connor. So Colorado's going to go on a 4-minute power play. Kyle Connor high stick Makar, and I guess it was blood. So I was looking at Makar with no sound, and I was like, God, all these guys bring their heads back like it's Vancouver almost scored. No time left on the power play in the first.
No darkness. I'm still in denial, man. I'm still like hanging on to the Leafs. Half the people I talk to my age right now are like, I talk all hype talk about the Leafs, and they just brush it off like they've been scarred and hurt and stabbed through the heart so many times. It's just like, whatever. Talk to me when they make the conference final. That's where a lot of people are at right now. It's like, I'm done with the first, second round stuff. They're going to win this, that. They win one game, everybody's going nuts. It's like, there's people that are so desensitized from the Leafs now.
Yeah, the Vancouver game is tight. Gold Knights Stars. Gold Knights are plus 142. Wow, and that's not the Golden Knights team I saw play Dallas. And I thought Dallas had plenty of opportunities to get into the game and didn't do it. And they had 2 minutes with the goalie pulled and didn't do it.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, look at
I think
Dallas,
Gold Knights are in the conference finals, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, based on what I've seen in these rounds, we're going to see the Canes play I think Florida in the conference finals. I think in the West, it's Edmonton and Vegas. I think that's what we're going to see. I think now with Vancouver losing Demko, Edmonton's going to walk to the Western Finals. They're just clicking. Unless they have some major injuries, McDavid goes down. But I honestly, dude, they played pretty good without McDavid. I think they rely on him too many times. They've been getting a lot from their secondary. They look like a conference finals team to me. So
yeah, you know what? If I were to pick those 4 teams, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing is Ottinger's got to stand on his head. He can't let in that many goals. But I mean, Dallas, if they lose,
he looked terrible. He looked terrible. He looked terrible. He looked like he did earlier in the year. Darkness says hot take Nashville beats Edmonton. That could happen. But Edmonton has to beat Vancouver, or Nashville has to beat Vancouver. I'm not convinced Nashville's going to beat Vancouver. I think Vancouver's a better team. I think this Demko thing is a gut punch to them, though. But I think if they can hold on for a round or something, this is going to be the knock on Demko. I mean, he's up for
I
the
gotta run to
Vezina
the
this
washroom, buddy. 1 sec.
Yeah, Demko's up. When you come back, Rico, I'm gonna do the same. Demko is a Vezina finalist if he's healthy this year, and then he's hurt again in the playoffs. It's just brutal, and my heart goes out to the Canuck fans, man, because, dude, it's brutal. You have a great team this year. I think the Canucks could compete for a cup. I think we're also counting out Winnipeg too. But I just think right now, man, if Vegas beats Dallas, who I think was the best, I picked Dallas to win in my bracket challenge. At the beginning of the year, I thought it would be Florida. I thought Florida would come back with a vengeance. And they have looked good. And now they're up 2-0 on, Tampa Bay. Boy, Tampa isn't getting any puck luck. So, yeah, Subhuman, we don't know. It sounds like just for now, this series, they're not ready to rule him out. I mean, shoot, they were just saying a couple like tonight and maybe hoping he could be back, but I don't know. I think they don't want to say. But Taka did say it wasn't the injury that kept him out for a while. So, did the Jets just score? Okay, to make it St. Martin, or you want to know the Jets score? It's 1-1. I've got it 11:29. The Jets are taking it in the zone, though. Oh, here we go. Yep, Mark Scheifele, top shelf. What a goal. What a goal from Mark Scheifele. And the whiteout crowd goes nuts. The peg is back up. If this can be this is what Winnipeg needs. This pace is a lot better. 2-1, and we're already halfway through the game. That's good. That means the final score will probably be like 4-3 instead of 7-6. That's a big goal.
I wouldn't be upset if Zach Parise got a cup. I mean, if Colorado did, but I would love it if Winnipeg moved on.
I'm not rooting against Winnipeg. I want the Jets to go. They're fans. That's awesome. Like Pearlo said, I know it's been tough for people in Manitoba. And to put it in quaints for the Americans, Manitoba is basically right over North Dakota and Minnesota. And like those are some of our best hockey states in the U.S. and just real like blue collar farmer type people. So if you equate it to the U.S., Manitoba is very much like that.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, it's North Midwest or whatever. So what are the two types of teams that go on a deep runs? First, teams that are white hot going into second, teams that are playing with house money. Nashville fits both. Yeah, Darkness, I understand that, but Nashville wasn't that hot down the stretch. They went on that big run, but like the last 2 weeks, I think they almost played sub 500, but they really didn't need to play hard because they had secured themselves a playoff spot. I mean, the problem was the teams in the West that were bad were bad. There really wasn't anybody really. It wasn't like the East where you had like, look, I'll be honest. The way Pittsburgh was playing, they were probably a better matchup for the Rangers. Like it would have been a more difficult matchup for the Rangers, I believe. Also, Pittsburgh, they traded guys away, but they got Bunting. Bunting was like the third highest scorer since the trade deadline. He was doing really well for them. He just didn't fit in Carolina, and they had to make money work. Of course, Dubas is there. He knows him. Bunting, I think he has a very transferable game to a lot of teams. I think he would fit good on the Caps. I think he would fit good on Rico's Leafs as he did when he was there. But he didn't work real good. Well, I say Caps play a lot of man-to-man now, so maybe he wouldn't fit great there, but it is
no, Bunting slid up and down the lineup in Toronto. You could kind of fit him in.
Yeah,
he plays good with a top line kind of playmaker. Like he played good with Marner and Matthews in Toronto too. But I think with Carolina's depth, I think he just got kind of lost in the depth a little bit and just didn't quite fit into Brindamore's playing style there. So, I mean, it's a good move for both sides because he did amazing in Pittsburgh for sure.
Yeah, we saw Jared. I am not really doing play-by-play, but I have the scores updated. If you see something wrong with this series, the entire series is down there, let me know. But I'm keeping the scores updated. Rico, I'm going to let you take over for a minute. And Finish your point on who you like in Golden Knights Stars tomorrow, and then jump right over to Kings Oilers. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy. So we'll do like Hot Take Hockey does in his streams. Who's everybody like in the chat tomorrow? Give me a 1 for Vegas or a 2 for Dallas. Let's see who everybody's picking to win this game. Not the series, just the game tomorrow night in Dallas. Give me a 1 for Vegas, a 2 for Dallas. I'll start. I'll go with a 2. I think Dallas is going to win this game. That's a must win for them, but Vegas is looking good too. So give me a 1 for Vegas, 2 for Dallas. See what the percentage is here. Got a 2 for Sabu, man. St. Martin thinks Vegas. Darkness thinks Dallas. Yeah, St. Martin, Vegas, eh? Jared, 2 Dallas. Yeah, see, it's pretty split. I mean, Dallas is opening up as pretty heavy favorites in this game. I mean, nobody's given Vegas any love yet. And my preseason prediction was Dallas go to the final, but them winning the Central Division, what do they get as a nice little gift to open up the playoffs as the Vegas Golden Knights? Amazing. Yeah, no, I think I'm on Dallas too. Still not giving Vegas any love either, but I mean, if you're a betting guy, you'd probably want to throw some money on Vegas just in that game tomorrow night because you're not going to make much by betting Dallas. They want to bet maybe their team total, maybe Dallas first period. They try to come out a little quicker in this one and get that first one, not let Mark Stone get that first one like he did that tip in on the power play last game. This Vegas or this Edmonton LA game, I mean, the last game Edmonton kind of let LA stay in a little bit, but I think Bouchard had something like 4 assists that game. David, I think, had 3 assists, something like that. They just kind of went off for points, so that's another game you want to take some props on. I mean, LA goes down 2-0. They're still going back home. You don't lose a series until you lose one at home. But yeah, Darkness, man. I know Vegas wins. Yeah, I think Dallas is gonna win that game. But if I was putting money on it, your return's gonna make more money betting on Vegas in that game. And Thomas Hurdle's a truck too, man. He's a big boy, and I mean, just think who they had on their Stanley Cup roster last year, and all of a sudden you add Thomas Hurdle and Noah Hannafin, and you didn't subtract a whole lot. So, I mean, Vegas could definitely go right back to the final against the Florida Panthers unless Carolina or the Rangers got something to say about it in the East, but I think those are the 3 teams coming out of the East. And whoever comes out of that Vegas-Dallas series has a good chance to go a little bit deep as well. Yeah,
right,
man.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. It's just I was just mentioning there that like it's crazy that the betting public's not giving Vegas any love here. Dallas minus 175 is what I'm seeing. Like
I expect Dallas to bounce back, but I just feel like Vegas did what they needed to do and take game 1. They're going to win this series now. They've now taken away home ice advantage from the Dallas Stars. So all the winning Dallas did, and the fact that Vegas basically backdoored into the 8th spot. And again, I would have liked to seen I think Edmonton would handle Vegas this series. But I think it's a demon they're going to have to overcome. I'll tell you what, if I'm an Oilers fan, I would much rather have played this Vegas team in round 1 than in round 3, because you are going to see them in round 3 now. I will be very shocked if Vegas does not make it to the conference finals. They just look, dude, Hurdle looked big and strong. Hannafin was in on points. I forgot they even got Mantha from the Caps. Like the fact that the Caps traded Mantha, Edmondson, and who am I missing? Kuznetsov. Yeah. Kuznetsov wouldn't be helpful to the Caps right now. The Kuznetsov that's playing for the Carolina Hurricanes wouldn't help the Caps in the playoffs. Like, Dude, unbelievable. The amount of talent. Oh, by the way, Backstrom didn't play. They're missing Sandini and they're missing. So I mean, like, good on the Rangers. You should beat this Capitals team handily. And you're struggling. They're not beating Carolina. I don't care what Pearlo says. If Pearlo's back with us and he isn't arrested by the authorities because Rick Smith reported him for human trafficking. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, like, babe, I would just like to put this PSA out for all the people that are listening that are law enforcement. Rico and I are not involved in any sort of conspiracy to cover up a crime. We just talk hockey on this show. So, no, I don't want to delve, but I definitely, Rico, you want to circle and concur and initial on live that you're not involved in anything illegal to your knowledge on this channel?
No, we do not condone or involve ourselves in any illegal activity involving anybody. We come here, we speak about hockey, and we shut the stream off, and that's as far as we know each other.
Yeah, I mean, well, Rico and I have gone to a hockey game together, but we, you know, I know what he does in his off time, and it's listen to hockey radio shows, and that's what I do in my off time. I
take orders from my wife, and I work around the house, and
that's
I
about
listen to podcasts all day. You'll find me with my earbuds in my ears all day, listening to the Fan 5.
By the way, Colorado tied it up. I think Lehkonen, Colorado just scored.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. So we're I think we're about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the second period there. So that game's moving along pretty quick. Did you give your Kings Oilers pick? And then we'll just wrap up the show. It's been a weird night.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to do the same thing with Edmonton. You're going to have to lay money for them to make any money on them. So, I mean, I'm going to take the Oilers to win in that game, but I think LA comes out with a pretty good effort, and if you think they're going to win, put some money on them because you'll get a good return. So I don't know if you're going to see another 7-4 game. You never know because it's Stuart Skinner and Cam Talbot.
These are only plus 160, so the books don't hate them that bad either.
No,
they did
the player props again and hope
that glove down goal, which I thought it was not on purpose. I thought he had his eyes closed. It looked like he didn't even see what he was doing. I think it was a complete fluke. So let's just say, for instance, that goal counts. That game is a 1-goal game. Edmonton had 5 points from McDavid. So if you're a Kings fan, the silver lining is the Oilers are probably not going to play that good. And fucking the Kings aren't going to play that bad. So you could take them at plus 160. Just my thoughts, Rico.
Yeah, I think the Kings already know they're going to lose that series. It's going to be a miracle in heaven for them to beat the Oilers in the series. They might clip them a game or two, but I don't think this thing goes to Game 7 in Edmonton by any means. So I would probably take Edmonton in 5-6-6. Go as far as Game 6. I can't see Edmonton, LA going to Game 7. There's absolutely no way.
Edmonton, if they weren't confident, they have already buried this team 2 times in the playoffs, and they lost both game 1s. Now they win game 1. I think Edmonton in 5 here, man. Like, of all I think this is going to get, ugly quick.
If LA wins tomorrow night in Edmonton, it's going to go 6. If Edmonton beats LA tomorrow night in Edmonton, this thing's going 5.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Is there an award for the worst general manager in the league? Because Rob Blake deserves it. Like, that BLD trade is awful. Look at Velarde and Iafallo are helping the Jets huge. Imagine if they're in the Kings lineup over PLD, who's playing 4th line. He took 2 bad penalties. He had a goal and was a +1 in the game against Edmonton, by the way. So I don't think he's playing as bad as people are saying, but he still took 2 bad penalties. One I thought should not have been called, but it is what it is. They called it. He's not been good, man. Like, and you would have got him for free after this year anyway. So you just let Columbus make that trade. I mean, or not Columbus, excuse me. PLD did play for Columbus at one point in his career. No, I just like Oh, Darkness. If your GM is so bad, why does Team Canada keep asking him back to do the Canadian roster? I mean, like, you guys don't know how good you have it in St. Louis. Raise your hand if your team won the cup in the last 5 years, bro. Come on, man. Darkness, where is you? I know you're sad, like with O'Reilly and stuff, man. Like, he's not going to overspend, but people love that market, dude. I listened to, dude. By the way, Darkness, we're linking up, buddy, because I will be at the Frozen Four next year in St. Louis. So
the nice thing about the Blues is they're not going to bottom out. You're not going to see St. Louis in the San Jose's kind of category.
Yeah.
Anaheim, like
that's
St.
a
Louis
bad
will
thing
not
too,
be
though.
at the bottom of the league. I know, but they're still
Because
have
you
a
don't
shot
get the
at
high.
making the
That was
playoffs.
Toronto forever, dude. Toronto
I
was
know.
never good enough to win, but they weren't bad enough to get good players. So they just had like Matt Sundin and Ty Domi on the top line with Brian McCabe, and they made the playoffs every year and lost in the second round. And they just never could get better. So
Well, that was pre-salary cap era too, where the Leafs were buying their team all the time.
But it didn't help them. So
No.
yeah, I mean, it didn't help them. You still got to draft and develop. And
I know you had guys like Nieuwendyk and Gary Roberts and Eric Lindros and like Mike Gartner. You had all these guys go through Toronto. It's crazy.
Yeah, I met Joe Nieuwendyk, and you forget that guy was on the 89 Flames team. He was on the 99 Stars team, and I think he was on 2 of the Devils teams. So he was like a merc, but that guy was like the quintessential third-line center that would win 80% of his draws and just be a major pain in the ass on the defensive end. And he'd pot you like 6 goals in the playoffs because he was awesome. Like, dude, like I'm trying to think of a modern day equivalent of a guy like that. There really isn't, because those guys are top line guys on their teams now because, you know, the talent's a little bit spread out because of the 32 team thing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I keep saying, though, people are like, there's not enough talent. There's not enough talent. Dude, hockey's over 100 years old. It's got almost as good a minor league system as baseball. And this is why I think, look at some of these top AHL players that never sniffed the NHL. They can still do damage in the NHL. It's just teams won't give them the chance. So you're going to see with the Arizona getting a team back, and I'm guessing Atlanta gets the other. Oh, did Colorado just score again? Oh, wow. Colorado just scored again. Oh, no. Zach Parise, I think. Did you have a Zach Parise goal scoring prop?
Oh, dude, he was paying huge. Tell me it's Parise that scored.
It's Parise that scored. It's Parise that scored.
He's on the top line.
Did you
top line?
Did you just hit a huge? What did you hit?
Let me see what odds I got him at. I think it was like plus 400. I think to get a goal.
Okay, here we go. Oh shit! I'm gonna do it right. Here we go. This is my wife's guitar. I don't know how to play guitar, but Rico hit a goal scoring prop. He hit a goal scoring prop. He hit a goal scoring prop. He's a goal scoring prop. Shock top. You better follow Rico. Rico kills it on the goal scoring props, man. Anyway, I love that. That was my kind of semi-bluesy version of Rico hit a goal.
That's pretty decent, man.
Written in 2024. I needed to smile and laugh, and Rico, you brought it to me tonight. I really appreciate it. I thank everybody for coming out. We had a lot of people on Twitter tonight, and we had a lot of people in the chat. We're over 20.
Yeah,
thank you to everybody. This was our last show ever on a Tuesday in April. Got you there, didn't I? We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, for these 3 games. Rico and I like Leafs, Stars, Oilers. Is that where we're going?
Yeah. I mean, those are the favorites, but man, Dallas is going to come out and just.
Yeah, Dallas will win tomorrow.
They're not going to win 4-1, 5-1 or anything stupid like that. They're going to eke out a win. I'd say 4-2 Dallas, and I say 5-2 Edmonton.
Yeah. Nashville on the power play here early in the second, up 1-0. I don't worry about Vancouver. I think if they can get their games together here, they can come back and win this game. So if you're a Canucks fan, don't feel bad. Anyway, just to recap, that song was Rico Hit a Goal Scoring Prop, written by Jay Muddy Waters Maxwell.
Muddy Waters
2024.
Maxwell.
Thank you very much.
Wes McCauley can go eat shit.
I mean, I don't even hate Wes McCauley. It's just unfortunate that it just takes away from the enjoyment of the game. And I feel like, again, did they really get beat by the Rangers? Because I felt like game one, I could walk away going, you know what? That game's 2-1 Rangers. Take away the 2 goals. They shouldn't have scored because of penalties. And Chris Kreider still scores that goal. It's 2-1 Rangers. Hats off to him. I can kind of bury that one. This one here, it's like we don't even know. If the Caps go on a 5-minute power play, which they should have gone on, like to me, I saw people saying suspensions. I was like, guys, it's not going to be a penalty. They're not going to award a penalty. I said right away, you can go back and watch the live stream Hot Take Hockey, match up the live chat, which it'll do if you rewatch it. I said, yeah, they won't get a penalty here, man. I knew they weren't going to get a penalty. And it was just like so blatant. The stuff they were calling early was so soft, but yet they don't call. Look, regardless, if you don't think that's a major, fine, debatable. He hits him in the chest first. He hits him in the head. He leaves his feet. That should have been a fucking major. At the very least, it should have been a minor for check to the head, which I don't think exists. I think if you check someone to the head, it's a 5-minute major. Are we trying to protect the players here, or are we not? If you're calling TJ Oshie for a wraparound hold call, but you're not calling that penalty, I don't know what we're doing here. Like, that's just unbelievable. I think the fans just want, hey, don't call the knick-knacky stuff. Call the stuff where life, limb, is on the line. If it's blatant, if it's obvious, if it's retaliatory, send it to 4-on-4. This is just unbelievable. And you reviewed it and had a chance to get it right, and you struck out swinging. It was the wrong call. I'm surprised we don't see a tweet that the league will be looking at Panarin for supplementary discipline for a check to the head. Fortunately for the Caps, TJ Oshie came back, no harm, no foul. And you know what? The Caps didn't do anything dirty. I was worried Tom Wilson was going to take liberties, and then we were going to lose him for the rest of the series. So fortunately, he kept his head, and it was pretty not even that chippy at the end of the game. I think the Caps were just ready to surrender. They got the late power.
Now they're going back home, and you're not done in this series till you lose a game at home.
Yeah.
Honestly,
we're losing it.
No, the Leafs are playing tomorrow night too. I'll peel myself off the floor if they lose. Like even last night, if the Leafs lost, I don't even know if I could have made the stream. Man, I was telling myself, I'm like, I don't even want to see anybody, but I could imagine.
Yeah, well, that's fair. If the Leafs lose, you have my permission to not come on the show. And but remember tomorrow, guys. Before I let you go here, this has been a long one. Tomorrow we have Johnny Lazarus, New York Rangers beat reporter, co-host of Morning Cup of Hockey. We have RJ Eskinos from Emerald City Hockey.
Oh.
Okay. And his compadre, partner in crime, former NHL scout, LA Land, La La Land, Dylan Travers. So those 3 guys will be on the show tomorrow.
Okay, I'm coming on.
Yeah, so
I saw Lazarus. I watched Morning Cup of Hockey for the first time today, and I saw him shout you out too on there.
Yeah, I have his phone number too, so he's a great guy. We're gonna have him on. He was gonna come on Monday, but Passover, and didn't want to intrude on his religious behests. So he's coming on Wednesday. I will be setting up the stream post this. And giving you the link, Rico, so they have them early. We will probably have a little bit of a longer show because we have all those guys, but Lazarus is on the East Coast, and and Dylan and RJ are on the West Coast. So it won't be bad for them to stay a little bit longer. And I'll ask them if they come on early. So I'll try to be prepped and ready to go at 10 p.m. tomorrow, guys. I know we started a little bit late, but my wife's out of town, so I have to feed the dogs, and we try to feed them the same time every day. So it's just a little juggling act of me trying to get ready and do all this stuff too. So, but anyway,
an update on Pearlo. I messaged him and he hasn't messaged me back. So hopefully everything's okay with him and whatever's going on around him.
Oh yeah,
Pearlo's a good guy. It could be a misunderstanding. It could have been something.
It could have been a TV audio. It could have been.
It could have been something out of his control, and it just sounded worse than it was. So I know we've been chatting with Pearlo for a while, and he's been on the stream for a little while, and we know he's not a bad guy. So if anything came across wrong in the chat, it would be very surprising to both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, don't forget Johnny Lazarus, guys from Emerald City, on tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate everybody that came out tonight. Thank you for dealing with me. I was not happy.
Caps aren't done, buddy. Smash no.
They're done. They're done. They're done.
No.
Anyways, see you guys. See you mañana.